sovereignty continues. The N.J. Dawood translation of Al-Quran. Now, Surah 67 is a great one to say after dusk, before going to bed, along with ayat 284 to 286. Some leave out 284 for some reason. Well, some of the earlier narrations don't mention that one. Those ones as well. 255 is the best verse in the Quran. So that's a good one to say. And some might say 256 with that as well, because that makes, that pairs so well with that, and that makes it about oneself, and you know what I mean? It makes it, hey, you're not forcing it on anyone else. It's just your own personal practice. There's more lessons I could say with that, but in the name of Allah, the compassionate, the merciful, blessed be he who in his hand holds all sovereignty. He has power over all things. Now, some people call this chapter Tabarakalladhi, and others call chapter 25 Tabarakalladhi because of the first words. He created death and life that he might put you to the proof and find out which of you acquitted himself best. He's the mighty, the forgiving one. He created 7 heavens above, one above the other. You will not see a flaw in the merciful's creation. Turn up your eyes. Can you detect a single crack? Then look once more and yet again. Your eyes will in the end grow dim and weary. We have adorned the lowest heaven with lamps, missiles to pelt the devils with. We have prepared the scourge of the fire for these, and the scourge of hell for those who deny their Lord in evil fate. When they are flung into its flames, they shall hear its roaring and seething, as though bursting with rage, and every time a multitude is thrown therein, its keepers will say to them, did no one come to warn you? Yes, they will reply, he did come, but we rejected him and said, Allah has revealed nothing. You are in grave error. And they will say, if only we listened and understood, we should not now be among the heirs of the fire. Thus shall they confess their sin. Far from Allah's mercy are the heirs of the fire, but those that fear their Lord, although they cannot see him, shall be forgiven and richly rewarded. Whether you speak in secret or aloud, he knows your inmost thoughts. Shall he who has created all things not know them all? Gracious is he and all-knowing. It is he who has made the earth subservient to you. Walk about its regions and eat of his provisions. To him all shall return at the resurrection. Are you confident that he who is in heaven will not cause earth to cave in beneath you, so that it will shake to pieces and overwhelm you? Are you confident that he who is in heaven will not let loose on you a sandy whirlwind? You shall before long know the truth of my warning. Those who have gone before them likewise disbelieved, but how grievous was the way I rejected them. Do they not see the birds above their heads spreading their wings and closing them? None save the merciful sustains them. He observes all things. Who is it that will defend you like an army, if not the merciful? Truly the unbelievers are in error. Who will provide for you if he withholds his sustenance? Yet they persist in arrogance and in rebellion. Who is more rightly guided? He that goes groveling on his face, or he that walks upright upon a straight path? It is he who has brought you into being and given you ears and eyes and hearts, yet you are seldom thankful. Say it was he who placed you on the earth, and before him you shall all be assembled. They ask, when will this promise be fulfilled? If what you say be true, say Allah alone has knowledge of that. My mission is but to warn you. But when they see it drawing near, the unbelievers' faces will turn black with gloom, and a voice will say, this is the doom which you have challenged. Say, consider whether Allah destroys me and all my followers, or has mercy upon us. Who will protect the unbelievers from a woeful scourge? Say, he is the Lord of mercy. In him we put our trust. You shall know who is in evident error. Say, consider if all the water that you have were to sink down into the earth, who would give you running water in its place? And perhaps that's going to be a sign of the end times, right? If the water gets pulled back in, right? Because there could be space inside the earth to absorb, to pull in all our water. But that's not per se the point that's being made. That's just what that makes me think of. Now, we talk about the death and then the life. Usually it's the other way around. But here we're talking a chapter that's great for saying before going to sleep. And the one in the heavens, well, it doesn't mean that God is limited by being the furthest out. It's just saying that's one of the things. And in the heavens as well, just like we could think of God being omnipresent in terms of God not being limited, and saying God's the furthest out, the furthest in, and around everything between, but not creation. Not the heavens, not the earth, not ourselves.